Throughout the centuries, three words have resonated powerfully to describe God's people: Hebrews, Israelites, and Jews. Three names laden with history, identity, and eternal promises. Each of them evokes images of patriarchs who walked by faith, of kingdoms that shone under the hand of the Almighty, and of prophecies that still await fulfillment. But the question arises, are they really the same? Or do they hold distinct meanings with separate origins and unique purposes within God's plan? In most Christian circles, these terms are often used interchangeably, without pausing to consider their nuances. However, as we examine Scripture and history, we discover that each was born at a specific time, under unique circumstances, and marks different stages in the development of the chosen people. They are more than just words. They are traces of an identity that God has preserved through the centuries. Dear listener, in this documentary, we're going to delve deeper into this topic, exploring the true meaning of Hebrews, Israelites, and Jews, and how each name reveals a part of God's amazing plan for His people. Let's get started. Throughout biblical history, three terms have been used to describe God's people: Hebrews, Israelites, and Jews. Although many use them interchangeably, the reality is that each has a specific origin, a distinct historical background, and a unique application within God's redemptive plan. In most modern Christian circles, this distinction is often overlooked. But those who wish to study Scripture accurately, correctly interpret prophecies, and understand God's dealings with His people throughout time, they must pay attention to the evolution of these terms. To ignore the difference between them is to lose sight of part of the divine testimony revealed in history. Now let's look at the origin of each term, in the light of experts in history, linguistics, theology, and Jewish culture. We begin with the oldest of all, the term Hebrew. This was the first name that identified the covenant people, long before the title Israelite existed and centuries before the Jewish identity was consolidated. But what does Hebrew really mean? Where does this term come from? And why was it used to describe the patriarchs and their descendants in the most ancient stories? Most scholars agree that the term Hebrew, Ivri, comes from the Semitic root avar, meaning to cross or to pass over.